journey begins with a truth we can no longer ignore.
Based on some of the highly sensitive men I've spoken with, the concern and the inquiry really is around, well, what is it to be a whole, full, powerful man in today's world? So let's talk about that.
Sensitive Men Rising, a profound step for man, an extraordinary leap for humankind.
I'd say to most men who know that they sit within a great sensitivity is to truly take a deep breath and know that they should address the truth of this first.
Sensitivity is one temperament trait, and by temperament we mean something that we think is inborn or there from birth.
This is a movement that is allowing those of us in the 20 to 30% who are highly sensitive. It's our moment in the sun. I've always felt that the meek won't inherit the earth. The HSPs shall inherit the earth, because we're the ones that are looking at every single detail.
Decades since Dr. Elaine Aron first properly saw this innate temperament trait.
I'm really delighted that we are making this movie about highly sensitive men. It's been in the back of my mind and the back of my heart for a long time.
She and her husband, Arthur Aron, have been publishing scientific studies about it since 1997, identifying it as sensory processing sensitivity. High sensitivity was always there, of course, usually wrongly seen as shyness or introversion. It is neither of these. It was also sometimes seen as uptight, weak, or neurotic. In men, as weakness, being soft, a sissy.
I'm not good enough! I can't do it! I couldn't do it!
It seems to me there's a whole lot of confusion about what a man is. My father was a prize fighter and a black belt in judo, and he was knocking people out and going to jail in his 60s. And he represented a certain kind of masculine authority, which I looked up and emulated for a long time. And I spent a lot of time with rough men trying to come to terms with that. But over time, your intuitions begin to talk to you, and you realize that the potential of being a man is much more than that. A man is a father, a man is an uncle, a man is a caregiver, a man is a protector, a man is a warrior. And I realized that the people that I most admired and liked the most were what you could call highly sensitive men. They weren't weak, but they had the full spectrum of their capacities available to them. And so I agreed to do this film because these people were speaking to something that I thought was under-defended, under-spoken to.
Sensitive men have suffered a lot, especially in these places where we have assumed the toughness works best.
The warriors of men that I have been blessed to encounter, whether they're straight, whether they have yet to understand themselves fully within or otherwise, the warrior of a man that I encounter is a man that has the courage somehow to be himself. And these days, to be truthful, I think it takes a lot more courage.
People take advantage of being sensitive. So I never show that. I would show strength.
Most highly sensitive men I know they're highly sensitive. They just don't know what it is.
I always believed there was something fundamentally flawed about me at my core, just from feeling things so much. I saw the sensitive part of myself as something I had to toughen out of myself.
I was that kid, but being that kid saved my life because I wasn't that shy kid. I've been out with the gangbangers, murdering people.
About 50% of our company is either millennial or Gen Z. The world is falling apart. There's political divisiveness. The environment is being destroyed. Go through a whole set of things, and they just need a different model. And so when they see options that bring hope and sensitivity and a much more integrated approach to problem solving, I see them embrace it with our arms wide open.
We really must not fear the sensitivity as men. Being able to be sensitive and to use that in positive, productive directions is being a real man.
The more HSP men can be having this conversation in public, I think the better we'll be.
Right now, the talents, the intuitions, the intelligence of highly sensitive men are more critically important than perhaps ever before. So the real question is, what will you do to change the paradigm? The time is now. It's time for sensitive men to rise.